Hey llamas and alpacas, this is Livy and welcome to another video. As you know me, I love video games, and a lot of you probably thought it started with Five Nights at Freddy's, but it actually didn't. It started a long time ago. I don't really remember what age, but I remember playing the Game Boy and the Super Nintendo when I was little, and that one Sega thing. I don't remember what it was called, but it was handheld. If you know what that is in the comment section below, please tell me, and if you're old like me to remember that. But I remember playing with that, and like I said, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, the classic PlayStation, also the classic PC games. Like, I remember my mom would buy me these PC games to, learn off of and everything, and just have fun. And I would play with some of my brother's games on the computer, and a lot of fun. So, today I'm going to be starting with my top 10 childhood video games. Now, keep in mind, these are from my childhood, and these are games that I loved as a child. Like, you may agree or disagree with this list. Let's start off with number 10, which is Freddy the Fish. Now, this is a kiddie game, preschool game, but I remember I loved it when I was little, and I remember when we first got it, the sound didn't work, and I was so upset that the sound didn't work when I was little, and one day I just bought it for fun, and played it on the stream, and they had fun watching me play it on stream. I had fun playing it, even though it was a very short game, but I had a lot of fun playing it, because it was so nostalgic, and it made me think of me playing it when I was little, and everything like that. So, yeah, that was Freddy the Fish. Number 9, we have Star Fox, which I know I will admit that I'm not the best at this game, but I remember I loved the intro of the game. I could just leave the menu on and just watch it like it was a TV show. Like, I just love the characters and the stories and that little chattering that they did at the beginning of the game before you start playing. Very adorable. But of the gameplay itself, to me, it was not really much, just flying in a spaceship, and I don't know, I really did not care for that type of stuff. Just not seeing the characters, just seeing them in the spaceship, and the pictures of the characters when they're talking, and I'm like, they're cute little animals, why don't they appear? But they do years later in different Star Fox games, which I've actually never played, but I remember watching my brother play them. Yeah. And at number 8, Frogger. Which, oh my god. This is the one game that I played to relax. And I remember when I was in middle school or something, what I always did every Friday night is I would go home from school, get on the computer, and spend the whole night on it, just playing video games. And Frogger was one of my absolute favorites to play. And it's like the classic Frogger game that you try to hop across to your goal, but across the street. But in this game, you don't just go across the street. You can go from a pond, from a factory. It's a lot of fun, and even in the clouds. But I love the factory ones, and that one forest one, I really like that too. And there's other warnings besides cars, like giant bees and, being squished by machinery. But I just loved it so much. And at number 7, Megaman X. I love Megaman. I remember at this one age, he was one of my biggest obsessions, was Megaman. And Megaman X, that was the favorite Mega Man game to play. I played it on the Super Nintendo, and I loved all the different characters, all the different stages. I loved the music. And I remember I'm like, I want this to be a show so bad. And then it did become a show, but unfortunately they showed it on cable, which we did not have back then. Well, other kids did, but I grew up with no cable. So, yeah. I grew up with regular TV. And number 6, Kirby Anything. Kirby was, besides Mega Man, Kirby is one of my biggest video game character obsessions. And I love him so much. I remember I used to call Kirby a her. I used to say, Kirby's a girl because she's pink. But no, Kirby is a boy. Kirby is absolutely a boy. And I just loved every single Kirby game that there is under the sun. And whenever there's a new Kirby game, I would get all excited. I would be like, I have to have it. And when they had it on Nintendo 64, which is the system I do not have, I would get all sad and be like, oh, I wanted to play it, but I don't have the system. I was so sad. Kirby. But now, like, every time I see Kirby, I do, like, buy the game once in a while. It depends on if the game interests me or not, but I love Kirby. Number 5, Spin Jam. Now, this is a game that I think of it as underrated, and I can kind of see why it's kind of underrated too, because a lot of people don't understand the what's the word I'm looking for? The mechanics, that's the word I'm looking for. The mechanics of this game, because it's basically like matching these colors and they pop and you have to spin, and if it gets overfilled you lose. And I just love the characters. I love the music that it comes with. I think it is so relaxing. It is so relaxing. I'm actually playing a little bit of it right here. It's just, oh my god, I love it. Like, I wish I could play it again if my PlayStation didn't die. Number 4, Digimon Digital World. Now, these were 2 games, and unfortunately, I never completed any of the 2, because it's always at the one point where I always die, or my Digimon always dies at this one point, and, well, it might be different now that I'm older, but when I'm younger, I always die in this one part of the game. And I never really ended up with cool Digimon in the first one. I always end up with that ghost one. I don't remember what his name is at the moment, but I always end up with him, and he really does not do much, and he's not interesting. Why? Why? And at number 3, you probably saw this coming, was Pokemon Red. I know there's Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Yellow, but the one I grew up with was Pokemon Red. This is one of the things that kind of started my whole Pokemon obsession for years. I don't know, I just like the red one. I think it's basically because I like Charizard. I don't remember which Pokemon I always pick in the beginning. I even picked Squirtle or any one of the three. Sometimes I pick Squirtle, sometimes I pick Bulbasaur, and sometimes I pick Charmander. Even though, unfortunately, I never completed it because there were some things I could never find. Like, I think I always end up at the part with the sleeping Snorlax in the middle of the road, and I cannot find the flute to wake it up. And the one thing, the channel's magic word actually started from Pokemon Red with Gary. Yeah, of all people, Gary. And number 2, the Spyro Saga. Oh my god. I remember I was so obsessed with that game that it actually got me into trouble at school. Yeah, my teachers were weird. Like, my one imaginary friend, I actually had it being one of the Spyro characters, Bentley. I had a huge obsession with that one. That was from Spyro Year of the Dragon. I remember he used to be my imaginary friend, and I remember my special ed teacher had enough of him, and she actually not just yelled but screamed at me about, I had enough with Bentley! Bentley's bad! Bentley's going to jail! No more Bentley! It's not just Year of the Dragon, but I also loved Ripto's Rage. Oh my god. I love the story, I love the music, I love the gameplay, and it's just a really fun game to play when you're trying to relax and forget about everything, and also it kind of makes me think a little bit about my childhood. Yeah, pretty much that. And at number 1, I know at number 1 you're probably thinking Parappa the Rapper, but guess what? I didn't play that game in my childhood.
What?
I didn't play that game until I was like, well, actually, I never played that game in my childhood. I didn't play the actual game until it came out on PSP when I was in my either late teens or early 20s. I think most likely it was my early 20s. But I played, when I was a teenager, there was a section of Jeremy Lammy where you get to play as Parappa. That's when that obsession started. But Jeremy Lammy is what's number 1 because I remember playing that when I was little. That's the one game I absolutely did play when I was little. It has the same charm as Parappa the Rapper. and I just love the feel of it, and oh my god. And the music was so much fun. I love the music. I remember I wanted to sing one of the songs for the talent show, and my mom wouldn't let me because she was like, that song doesn't fit your voice, that song has no instrumental. I'm not gonna let you sing that song. You can sing this song like Itsy Bitsy Little Spider or Mary Had a Little Lamb, but you cannot sing a song from Mom Jammy Lammy. So those were my top 10 childhood video games. You tell me in the comment section below which one of these games you liked playing either now or when you're young, and tell me what games you like to play as a little kid. And thank you for watching, and hit the like button, it is very well appreciated, and hop aboard that alpaca bandwagon and hit subscribe and hit that bell for notification, and also make sure to check out my Twitter and Twitch. And even though I haven't really done any streaming on Twitch lately, but I'm thinking about something. But this was Livy, and this has been Live Next. I'll see you next time, my friends. See ya!